All right, you ready?
Yes.
Let's do this. All right, we'll save the cocaine talk till the end. Hey, what's up, America? Welcome to Goodnight America. I'm America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan. Listen, on the show, you know what we do? We talk to the world's greatest authors, mostly nonfiction, because who reads fiction? Chicks. Today's guest is Stephon Brown. He started his own musing company focused on truth-based offerings, mental cartography, and performative communication. I know those are English words, and I speak the language, but I don't know what any of that means. I guess we're going to find out. Also, he's published 2 books in a series, the Barstool Theories. Stephon, thank you for coming on the show. I don't want to derail this or anything, but Stephon, J. Edgar Hoover, L. Ron Hubbard, J. Robert Uppert. What Stephon? Stephon. We dropped the S altogether. It's superfluous. Superfluous.
I was a fan of the comedian A. Whitney Brown when I was a kid.
Oh, so you
I always kind of like that. I always kind of like that rhythm of that name. So when I needed to choose something as a nom de plume to kind of give me something above myself as a muse, and so that's what I went with. And my Stephon it's the Celtic spelling. My father has it. We both have the same middle name, so I love throwing that out people because is it Stephon, Stephon? What is that?
Yeah, it confused me because the Patriots were Patriot fans. We were just talking about this. They just signed Stephon Gilmore, Stephon Diggs Gilmore.
Stephon Diggs.
Which is, I think, so Stephon Brown I had in my head. I hope you recover from ACL surgery. We could really use you.
Me too.
All right, let's talk about musing.
Yes.
So when I first started looking into you, it was like Musing-For-Hire. That's ridiculous. But then I thought, man, if you've lived in the world and you've talked to people, you know how many could desperately use some sort of inspiration. Was this the idea that you're surrounded constantly like boring assholes? And you go, listen, man, these people need something. They need me.
It was the other way around, actually. I worked in entertainment for a long time and corporate, and I kind of realized I was just not happy at all, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Was it just the work, or was it just me? And I realized that I was approaching things backwards, of trying to fit myself into a spot in the world, when really I should be figure out what I am and then find a spot for me. And it really how do I start on this? I became a muse. I've been a muse my entire life. I just didn't.
I guess that was my question, because people must have said to you, after talking to you, I feel more inspired and more creative.
I realized. Well, if I'm honest, I realized what is the thing I really want to do, and I just never wanted to have a boring conversation again.
Yeah,
I hate boring conversation. I think conversation is one of the most beautiful art forms that human beings do not take advantage of. And so I wanted to find a way. I started studying the way we communicate and the way we behave with each other. And that's where the first book came from. The Barstool Theories it's a bunch of behavior theories that I just noticed while I was, trying to understand the world. And that kind of, out of that desire to understand human behavior came the musing, the idea of modern musing.
This is okay. I think it might have been a TED Talk, or I read something. Listen, I consume lots of smart stuff, obviously. What somebody said, there was a thing about the in defense of small talk. And because everybody goes, so the opposite of an interesting conversation is a surface level small talk conversation. Yes. Yeah. But I don't, the guy made a good point, whoever it was talking about this. He goes, small talk is okay for what it is, which is you're opening doors. You're sort of jabbing around in the first couple rounds. The only problem with small talk is when you stop there. So the conversation should progress, because everyone talks about Americans, how odd it is that we go, hey, how are you? And we're not really asking how you are. It's just a pleasantry. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, on the surface, like vapid pleasantries or vapid, how's the weather in California, as long as you move on after that. I think that's where people get hung up. They putter out after the small talk and there's nothing else to say. But I think in polite society, a lot of stuff we're not supposed to talk about is the shit that makes for an interesting conversation.
And there it is right there. And that's my issue with it. Like one of the things I've developed out of musing is my belief that there is society versus humanity, and society at its first opportunity, society's goal is to survive. That's it. And at its first opportunity, it will cannibalize humanity to help itself. So there are so many societal rules that are actually rules to keep rules against humanity. Like all the things we're not supposed to talk about, like sex or sex, religion, all the things that unite us.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to talk about sex, but everyone does it. So if we all learn to talk about it, we would have something to communicate to every single person in the world. But society doesn't want you to talk to everybody. It wants you afraid of people. It wants you to like keep in pods that we can keep in control. And then like, oh yeah, so you stay there, you stay there. You guys dehumanize each other, and we'll use, But musing is about reconnecting with humanity. Like fuck society. Honestly, society has been used to screw over humanity all the time. If we were just about humanity, there would be no homelessness, there would be no crime, there would be but society allows all that shit to happen.
We have homelessness in the richest country in the United States, and not just homeless drug addict assholes, hungry children that we look the other way. I mean, it's fucking nuts.
And that's society. Society decides that. But if you take it from a humanity, like that's where musing is. It's about getting past society into humanity, and then allowing that person, that authentic person, to really be who they are.
I had a guy on last week who does therapy, but mostly for men, and he holds these men's groups. And he thought initially, before going into this, that they would be very close-minded and only talk about sports and surface level politics. But he goes, instantly, they're all telling each other they love each other, and they're opening up fucking old traumas and wounds and stuff. Yeah. So I think, I'm not blaming women here or anything, but there's so many layers of the way we communicate with women, with parents, with children, with friends. There's all these weird fucking layers that prevent us from having, I think, these real conversations with each other, which sucks.
Once you create any level of difference, that difference can be used to wedge you apart. So once you have a room full of men, there's nothing different for them to wedge apart. But men and women, you can easily find ways to get them against each other. They're different colored people, different cultures. You can easily wedge them apart. So it's a question of finding those differences. Instead of making them like walls, you make them interact. Like you find the ways for the differences to connect. And that to me is the beauty of America. We are the cast-offs from the rest of the world. And we've taken all of this shit and made incredible things out of it. We've made art, we've made like science, all these inventions, not because we're just like, one person. No, man, we have cultures from Africa, we have cultures from South America, we have cultures from Asia, we have all of this mixed together. And that's what America should be.
I agree. You want to run for office?
No, absolutely not. No. Because they skin you alive.
They really do.
Doesn't matter who you are. They will fucking kill you.
Here's the other thing too. To raise the amount of money you would have to raise to enter the race, you were already purchased. So you can't even be you once you're there anyway.
No. So that's what a muse does. Is I'm not the king. I want to be the kingmaker. I don't want to be the politician. I want to be the person talking to the politician, actually providing them with authentic, real advice. And not this bullshit party politics crap. All
right, so let's go back to the beginning. People tell you they have these conversations with you. They're inspired. Yeah. They must have been saying something to the effect of, "You should do this." Do you remember who your first client and how did it happen? How does it go from nothing to where you are now?
Well, my first client was a football player. Flag football is going to be in the Olympics in 2028.
I've heard this.
Right. So. There are men who have already played it, but there's a huge push for women now because suddenly all of these women can be Olympians. So now, I got my first client was a quarterback on a female flag football team who was having issues. She would get on the field, she would go through great practices, and then she would get on the field, and just something would disconnect while she was going through routes. And so I got. We just talked about what she was thinking about during the process, and I worked her through it. And eventually I got her to swear while she was throwing, she was throwing passes, and that disconnected her head. And she was able to hit her progressions, go through her routes. And so it's about finding the authentic thing that's in the person and then seeing what's in the way and then trying to knock things out. So
do you think,
she was, go ahead.
That's interesting. Do you think constantly be surrounded by screens and stimulation is hurting our ability to be inspired? I think boredom a lot of times is a good feeding ground for ideas,
Yeah.
inspiration, and we're very rarely bored these days.
I think the issue is we don't know what we actually want. Like boredom, boredom comes from your mind. Your mind wants to do something. It wants to be challenged. But the problem is nothing is very challenging now. It's like you can have anything at your fingertips, anything you want. And instead of viewing that freedom as a palette, people are kind of viewing that as a cage. It's like, oh, well, what are you going to watch? Well, I pay for Netflix, so I should watch something off of that. But there's nothing interesting on there because I've seen everything. And then people are just wandering around in circles, just not realizing that they are interesting. They just don't give enough time to themselves to see who they really are.
So you don't think, in your experience, people don't know what they want? Is that one of the things that you think?
Well, people don't know how they want to feel. That's the thing. I don't think people are connected into their feels of, because the book, the big theory about that is that human beings are driven by feels. Feels are your emotions and your tactile sensations.
Okay.
So my belief is that emotions are actually mental recreations of our tactile sensations. So instead of like when we were your cavemen, to experience what's like to go up a mountain, you would have to go up the mountain. That's the only way you could feel it. Now we can interpret like the feelings of our bodies and be like, I can imagine what it's like to go up a mountain because my brain has been able to process tactile information for billions of years to now that it can recreate feelings from tactile sensations. That's the premise of the book, is that we are totally driven. Everything on this planet is driven by feels.
This is interesting. This brings up a concept that I think about a lot, but I've never thought about it in the opposite. So I'm a huge fan of this book called Religion for Atheists by Landa Botton. And in it, it's fucking great. The macro idea is that he's an atheist. He recognizes that there's plenty of religious people on the world. At no point are they going to argue and one jumps to the other team. So it goes, what can we learn about what religion does right? And there's a bunch of stuff in there. It's fascinating. One of them, though, is the full body experience of a church service. I grew up Catholic, for example. In Catholicism, you kneel, you sit, you stand, you shake hands, you eat Jesus crackers and which is fucking weird. You sing, it's a whole thing. It's a full body experience. So it sticks with you. And that always makes it like concerts. That's a peak experience because it's kind of the same thing. Plus, you're probably drunk. It's involving all your senses. Now, what we have is a singular sense. For the most part, you're staring at a screen. So if a full body experience is very rich and has depth and sticks with you, does that mean that a single experience like this is vapid and empty, but we're looking to it to fill all these holes? Maybe.
Yeah. Because you're taking out the rest of your body's like ability to connect with the situation. If you're just watching a screen, you're not smelling anything. You're not feeling the vibrations in the room. Like you're not tactily connecting to it. And if that becomes your only source for years and years and years, we're already seeing the issues. I mean, COVID kept people indoors for 2 years. And now we're seeing like a lot of people have social anxiety that is off the charts.
Right.
But
go ahead. You're the guest.
The biggest thing is shame. That I think that forces a lot of people to not like, that's the biggest driver, that like that's how we're controlled, is through shame, through public shaming, through like, don't do this, do that, don't do this, do other things. And I feel like so many people take it on so fully that it traps them in a lot of ways.
There's a lot of us that's built in physiologically because it helped us survive to some degree. Shame. That doesn't seem like, where does shame fit in this? Why is shame built into us? Is it a defense mechanism? Why is it there?
It's a teaching tool. Shame is an incredible teaching tool for children, because we without emotionally, we need to basically scar someone to trauma. Basically, trauma is one of the best teachers you will ever find. And shame is a version of, like, it's basically trauma light. It's like, if you touch that stove, you're going to burn your hand. I'm going to give you a light version of what that pain is going to be like, so you remember. Don't and like that's what shame is. It's about providing emotional pain as a reminding tool. It can be good, but it also can destroy people. So that shame is overused all the time, and I don't use it as an adult. I don't allow people to shame me, except for my wife. She's well, that's the thing. It's like, if you have to have some shame in your life, but you should never allow strangers to shame you, because they don't know who you are. They have no idea what your journey is. They have no idea what is right and wrong for you.
And so we know this intellectually. This is the bizarre part, is that we know it fucking doesn't matter. We probably don't like those people to begin with. Why do we care about their opinions? But you do. It's fucking wild. But
so what I do as a muse is I reduce my shame sources. I just choose a few people and I say, these are the people I trust, that when I fuck up, they're going to correct me. But everyone else, go fuck yourself. I don't care, because no one else knows what I'm trying to do. So no one else has any right to shame me.
I have this theory about humanity. I have many theories about humanity. One of which is that, listen, for 300,000 years, the human that got separated from the pack was the one that got eaten. You know, if we're all running away from a wildebeest and one of us trips, that's the guy that gets eaten. Okay. So we have this, I think, built into our head that we shouldn't stand out, because when we did, bad things happen. Now it's the opposite. These past 200 years, nothing's eating us anymore. We have light bulbs. We have all kinds of shit. Now the thing that stands out is the thing that succeeds. Shame, though, holds us back in a lot of these cases, because to put yourself out there and have a contrarian opinion to something or whatever, going up and approaching somebody for a date or asking somebody if they want to hang out as friends, you're opening yourself to shame. You're singling yourself out from the pack. And we hate that, but it's so good for us.
Well, I mean, you nailed it on the head. It's the same thing has still been happening. 300,000 years ago, the person who got, the slow guy got eaten. Mm-hmm. Now, we still accept that. Like, we still accept the slow person leaves the pack. So we still have that, if you're not in the pack, we eat you mentality. Yeah. Because we have, well, I love the, I watch a lot of, my entertainment palette is pretty vapid. Like, well, not vapid, but vast. And there's a line from Riddick, or no, was it Riddick? There's one of those movies where there's a group of people who stayed by the fires, and there's type of people who left and wandered off. Mm-hmm. And there will always be those types. There's the people who stay and build, and then there's the wanderers. And I think that's one of the things of humanity. Humanity always finds a way to fill the gaps of types of humans it needs.
Right.
And I feel like we don't have as many places to wander anymore. So you have all these people with a wandering mentality, but they don't know what to do. So it becomes restlessness.
Was Rick a Vin Diesel movie?
Yes.
See, I think everything you need to know in life you can learn from Vin Diesel movies. The importance of family from Fast and Furious, and that we
are Groot.
What more do you need to know? So this,
do you know he did that shit, like We Are Groot. He did it in like 5 different languages.
Oh, what a guy!
He recorded it, like, usually when they overdub a movie, they'll hire someone for Mandarin for different languages. He did all of his own dubbing for all of the Groots in every language.
I'll say this about Vin Diesel voicing Groot, though. They didn't need to get a big name star. He says 3 things. Get the key grip to record Iron. You know what I mean? You could have saved millions of dollars. You did not need Vin Diesel.
This industry is terrible. It's
so stupid. Like, what? So Vin Diesel's 3 words are going to bring people to the theater? Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, it's about family.
Don't I know it? Here's the thing about humans too. I'm no medical doctor. I don't know if you can't tell, but it does seem like everybody has something, right? I think everybody, I have OCD, I have ADHD, I'm on the spectrum, I have anxiety, I have depression. Not me, I'm perfect. I'm saying other people say this. Could it just be that we've been around for 300,000 years? In 1879, they invented the light bulb, and then all of a sudden, everything changed forever. It used to be the sun went down and you went to sleep because, listen, you could start a fire, but it's a pain in the ass. Life is so much different. In the last 200 years, you've had toilet paper, electricity, the goddamn internet, cars, planes, spaceships. Everything's fucking weird and different. So I think the reason everybody's sad and anxious and scared all the time is because there were big, dumb animals living in a totally bizarre world, and everything is new, brand fucking new. In the grand scheme of things, it's who can make sense of this?
And the one thing we're never taught to deal with, which we really should be, is change.
Right.
Change is inevitable, and it feels like we're never taught how to deal with it. Like, and that should be. There's so much to this process where you learn, like, oh, I've just figured out how to be 30, and I then turn 40. Like that, you're learning like 5 years behind where you are to try and just catch up with what your body is doing now. And there's just so many people who just like start earlier, learn about yourself, learn what you like, because you're going to be there the whole time. Might as well figure out what you want.
Yeah. This is why I drink. All right, let's talk about your 3 different types of musing. There's a lot going on here. Then I want to talk about mental cartography. You get, again, a lot of stuff I don't understand what it means, and I'd like to. So 3 types of musing. You have truth musing, creative musing, and event musing.
Yes.
What are you want to do the differences? What are what are they? And how are they
event musing is just hiring a muse to go to an event.
That sounds fun. Just hanging out, making people have a good time.
Well, we can run things. We've done weddings. We've done different events where we help plan things, because being a muse is about like understanding the dynamic of events, like our human energy. And so we like to go to events, and I'll study up on what the group likes, and I'll like learn conversation points. So that's entertainment musing. It's just basically like hiring one of us to go to a party. Creative musing is muses have all given up our right to our creativity thing. Basically, anything that if you hire a muse, anything that we come up with, IP is all yours. We give away all of our ideas. We don't care about any of it. So we bring us into writers' rooms. I've done pitch meetings. I've helped people with pitch decks. I'm actually helping someone develop a company now. But yeah, so the key is, like, in this industry, there's a lot of times people are afraid of getting their ideas stolen all the time. And so we just eliminate that by, like, we don't keep any of the IP. Well, my company owns no IP whatsoever. So anything a muse comes up with on a musing date or a musing event, that's the person, like, you own it. Like, someone else has it. And that's been really fun, freeing. And then truth musing is our last one, which is actually kind of, that's the most like coaching. Where we have independent clients. We either do events, 1 or 2, where we do a truth event where we come up with one question that we're trying to answer for the evening. That usually question is like, what's keeping me from being happy, or what job am I supposed to have, or what's the next step in my life? And we figured out that over the course of one night. That's a truth musing event. But then I have ongoing clients where we meet once a week, just like a kind of coach. And we talk through creative problems, emotional problems, anything they're going through, and anything where they need a perspective that's absolutely truthful and, with no judgment. Because, understanding without judgment, that's our motto.
Are most of your clients on the side of I'm a boring asshole and I need inspiration, I need to be funny and creative and unique so people like me? Or are they creatives that go, I'm stuck, I know I'm a genius, but I just can't think of anything else worth talking about?
It's more the second so far. It's a lot of higher functioning, high stress people who have just a lot going on, and they need kind of someone to help them trim down and be like, this is not important, this is not important, like, worry here. But yeah, there's a lot of people in LA who just,
for sure,
they have a lot of money, a lot of pressure, and a lot of, like, it just, people really have an image thing here where they just have to portray power all the time. And so many people, like, it fucking cracks, man.
You're gonna be a little cooked to go out to LA and for pursue your dreams. Which,
Oh, yeah.
thank God, because we need fucking Vin Diesel out there recording Iron Group. But I don't know how balanced they are. And here's another problem with people. Of course, the creatives are looking for a muse because they recognize the value of being a not boring asshole. The real problem is the boring assholes don't realize and recognize that they need muses to incorporate with the rest of us. Because these are the people out there having these god-awful conversations about nothing. But they're not interested in more because if they were, they'd say some interesting shit. We need to get the boring people to go, shit. You know what I mean?
It's what is it? The Dunning-Kruger effect, where it's like you
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Dunning-Kruger effect, where you know just enough to think you know. So I think they think they're interesting.
I know.
That's the issue. It's like, but they're like, oh no.
It's awful, but it's like, people with dementia don't realize they have dementia. It's kind of like that thing. We have to break through. Yeah. How do you do that though? How do we convince people that they're boring and they should pay people not to be boring?
Well, first off, here's the thing about musing is we believe everyone has a positive trait. So everyone has something good about them. That's honest. Like that's how we like our positivity. So I would find other boring people for them to be boring with, and then not subject them to us.
See, you're judoing the situation. This is another rant of mine that everybody disagrees with me, but I don't fucking care.
You made the word judo into a verb.
Judoing, yes. You're using their own momentum against them. This is another thing.
Oh, okay. I see that.
Nice. Instead of punching them in the face, you're just using you're just olaying them or something. Yeah. I don't know. The celebration in the modern zeitgeist of the introvert drives me batshit crazy. I'm exhausted by the idea that you can just be quiet and not contribute. And we're going, oh my God, it's so mysterious and interesting. I have run into this situation so many times where they go, you just need to peel back the layers of the onion. And then they're going to be wildly interesting and entertaining. Batting's zero. Not once have I pried and gone, oh my God, you're a rocket scientist who met aliens and you do psychedelics and you love cocaine or whatever the fuck. They're always just boring. So we just need to, it's okay to be an introvert, I guess, but don't pretend like you're this unlocked cavern of mystery and intrigue. Chances are you just don't have much to say.
Right. Well, I agree with most of that, but remember, it's the observer. So don't blame the introvert, blame the asshole who's staring at the introvert saying, oh, they're fascinating to me.
Right,
because they're the one creating it in their mind of like, ooh, they're not speaking, and then they're creating this dialogue. Oh, they must be mysterious and wonderful. It's like, no, they're not. They're just having a fucking sandwich.
They have nothing to say, and they're cantaloupe in a fruit salad. They're filler. So this is the thing. Fine. You throw it's fine. Cantaloupe has its place in a fruit salad. Some people, when I've said this analogy, have argued that watermelon is a filler fruit, which I totally disagree with. I think watermelon's one of the stars.
It is. It's delicious. I'm just saying, not everyone can be American sweetheart.
Because I earned this.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here's the thing you remember. If you're above average intelligence, that means most people are stupider than you.
Right. And I'm a fucking genius. So,
So not everyone's gonna be as interesting as you, Eric. I'm sorry. That's something you really need to accept.
I expect them to be. God damn.
No, that's wrong.
All right.
No one. You can't expect people to be as awesome as you are.
And then I'm just constantly disappointed. It's not that hard. It's not that a can of hairspray, a mild to moderate drinking problem. A few psychedelics, a documentary or two.
So if I bought the Eric Ryan action figure, what are the things that come with it? So a can of hairspray.
Well, let's back up because the hairspray is the finishing touch. It starts with Gorilla Snot Extra Hold or something. Gorilla Snot, readily available at Target or Walmart. Here's the thing about if you're going to do this, which nobody would ever do to their hair, you need shitty product. Now, I go to a hair salon every week because I need, I got to shave the sides. There's a ratio height to shortness on the sides, but I would love to be one of these people because I'm a pretentious cunt in a lot of ways. I would love to spend a lot of money on hair care product, but hair care product of quality does not do this. So you need to buy the trash. So Gorilla Snot and then Tresemme Extra Hold. Okay, Gorilla Snot for the base, and then you blow dry and you Tresemme up. You build a base of stiffness and you work your way up. That's it.
Wow. How long does it take?
I've been doing this every day since 7th grade. So 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It really depends on the strength of the blow dryer. If you go to a hotel, it's probably going to take me 6 because they're very weak. But at home,
Wow.
fortune with a little magic.
Respect the fact that you fucking had an image that early.
You know what it is? You want a little
awesome.
trade secret? This is why. So I'm an Army brat. So I moved around. I moved 9 times in 18 years. I figured out that if I had a gimmick, if I looked weird, that I would at least get attention. People might still hate me, but at least they were staring at me. And you know what? My hair is inspired by 2 things, 2 core elements. One, Uncle Jesse from Full House. I always thought it was funny. Not that this is Uncle Jesse-esque, but I thought it was funny that he was weird about his hair.
Don't touch hair. No, not the hair.
And then bad guy professional wrestlers. So like Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, Shawn Michaels particularly is my favorite. So just the idea of the like arrogant, shitty asshole guy. I was like, I love this, and the hair, it's perfect.
Yeah, asshole, shitty guy with a gimmick. That's a professional wrestler.
That's our president. It really fucking works.
Touche.
I'm telling you, I hate Velveeta Hitler with every fiber of my being, but he can teach you a lot about how to be successful in life.
Oh yeah. Oh.
By not in a good way, but just doing like real cheap. No, cheap heat. He gets a lot of cheap heat, just like wrestlers.
Oh yeah. Oh, cheap. Oh, good. Yeah.
That's an insider term because I went to Killer Kowalski School of Professional Wrestling.
You went to Killer Kowalski's?
Yeah, that's the other thing about professional wrestling school. I didn't go to some fucking community college. I went to the Harvard of professional wrestling school.
Fuck you. Nice. Respect, man.
Killer Kowalski, or Walter as I called him, he said I was gonna be a champion someday, but what he failed to take into consideration is that I'm a giant pussy. Everything hurts. It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. It doesn't matter how many times they tell you they're going to pick you up and throw you down, or how many times they tell you they're going to hit you in the head with a chair. You still get hit in the head with a fucking chair.
Yeah. And
I thought it was a lot.
If it doesn't look good, they'll do it again.
Just imagine having a hobby where you go and you just get concussed. That's what it is. If that's what you're going to start, just Okay. Can we talk about mental cartography?
Sure. It's mapping.
I know these 2 words mean. What?
Mapping.
Mapping of my head. Mapping of my mental. So how do you do it?
It's about taking ideas and then basically it's about mapping ideas onto each other. So taking truths, what we call truths of like why things work, and then either taking them apart for creative inspiration or to see if they can work in another system. So like fusion food is basically mapping. It's like taking an Asian recipe and then using like French technique on it. That's mapping another world onto something for a third technique. Yeah. So that's what mental cartography is. It's about understanding something to a level that you can take apart the pieces of it and use them in other ways.
So Korean tacos would be a good example of mental cartography.
Yeah. Like a Korean taco recipe is basically mental cartography, because the trick about the world is there's so many great ideas and so many brilliant things that are unique to different genres of thought. So like there's certain engineering terms, or there's certain like film terms or different things, and they work. And you can combine these things to create beautiful ideas. But to do that, you need to be aware of both ideas. So you need to kind of have an idea. So the world of mental cartography and all this is about visiting your own obsessions and seeing what ideas cross over in your mind. Like this works from this and this works from that. And so that it's about, finding the interactive parts in ideas that can connect them to different things.
After one of your sessions with the client and you're being all creative and shit, and you're thinking, are you exhausted? Does it tire you? Yeah, it is. Right?
It's like mental, like I burn through calories, like seriously, weirdly when I'm like working on a project, I'll like just eat a bunch. But yeah, it's sometimes it's physically just, you just wiped out because it's mental exhaustion.
Yeah, I can't tell. You probably can't tell that this burns a lot of calories for me, but it does. I feel like keeping the energy up is fucking hard.
It's hyper focus. It's listening. It's being aware of your partner. It's being aware of yourself. It's a performance. It's like musing is just like any other performance, where I have to, every nuance of my body can be used to help my client.
It's probably juxtaposed with the idea that normally, like everybody else, I just stare at my phone. So 18, 20, 23 hours of the day, my brain is fucking shut off. And then I have to go on. It's like, oh my God, I'm just not built for this. You know, it's trying to run a marathon when you sit on your ass all day.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, it's a little, little training. Little training keeps you going.
I got to tell you, though, I do feel a lot smarter when I'm like, reading stuff like books. Have you ever read a book? Oh, boy, that feels good.
Yes, because it uses both parts of your brain.
Huh.
Yeah, that's why reading actually is better than a screen, because when you read something, you see the words and then you have to visualize them in your head. So you're doing more, you're creating the visuals. That's why reading is more exhausting and more like mentally fulfilling than TV.
All right. Well, we're on theories about stuff, my theories in particular. As I mentioned, I say atheist because it annoys people, but really I'm agnostic. I don't give a shit. But I'm starting to come around on the idea that there might be a God, but not in the way that I think most people come to the conclusion. I think most people see the beauty in the world and think, oh my God, this must be created because look how gorgeous. I see the reverse of all this. Hear me out. Twinkies, cakes, ice cream, cocaine, bourbon, all bad for you. Salad, good. If there was a God, wouldn't he make the shitty stuff good for you? You know, the stuff that tastes good, the stuff that feels good. Having sex with one person your entire life, awful. Awful, but it's what we're supposed to do. Sleeping around, pregnancies, diseases, problems, it's the reverse of everything. Staring at my screen where all the porn in the world is, amazing. Reading a book, difficult. It's always this thing. Burning off 3,500 calories to lose a pound, hard as fuck. Eating 3,500 calories, very easy. That's one Five Guys burger, So it's almost this. Why is everything like this? It's strange.
Well, first off, a lot of the things you talked about there were society issues that are not like that. Society controls us. Like they give us the shit for free because they know it's like easier.
Right. If it was socially acceptable to sleep around, then it's not a problem anymore.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's not. Sorry, I'm polyamorous, so I'm in an open relationship with my wife.
You're in California, of course you are. Of course, you're a professional polyamorous muse.
Well, I'm not a professional polyamorous. Let me tell. First of all, polyamory is fucking hard. It's not easy to it's not easy to satisfy one partner all the time. Well, and not just
you're proving my point. You're even when someone's participating in exactly what we want to.
Yeah,
it's difficult. See,
but like all the relationships of just maintaining good, like positive relationships with like multiple people is fucking difficult.
Yeah, I know.
Communication's hard, man.
Is the juice worth the squeeze, though? You get to sleep with more people. It's the ultimate goal. You know how I know it's the goal in this, and I don't know if the polyamory community embraces this truth, but you can have deep conversations with whoever you want. The line of delineation is the sex.
Well, that's it. Some people. That's one of the things I love about polyamory is I can have deep, intimate conversations with people and not feel guilty. There's a lot of people who are like having a conversation with someone is a relationship like break for them. Like you can't it's a no-no. But like that was the biggest thing for me. Why my wife originally wanted to go open and I was reluctant because I'm a man and I'm insecure and all that shit. But eventually the thing that got me around was the thought that I can think about other women. I can think about other people. I can have a free mind and not have to worry that I'm violating some kind of trust with my partner. And that's what allowed me to really get into it is because I crave intimacy. Like the reason I do all of this is because I didn't really get intimacy from my family. We were kind of taught to compete.
Yeah.
And so I my family communicated with silence and sarcasm. That was it.
That seems reasonable.
Right. So I've sought intimacy. I love great conversations. I love when I get someone to tell me like I've heard people say this. I've never admitted this to someone else before. I've heard that dozens of times. And every time I hear it, it makes my heart fucking explode with joy. Because I have created a safe space for someone to say something out loud that they've never done before. Like that's giving them
that about you.
It's giving them humanity, giving them a moment of like, you are okay. You can tell people and be yourself. And fuck, that's I just love.
Yeah, it
I
sounds
love.
amazing. You know what? You know what's amazing about polyamory too, though, is you get to bang other chicks. Right? Yeah, it's
Right,
pretty,
but
pretty good. Pretty
she,
good.
other dudes get to bang my wife too.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's where you gotta negotiate harder.
No, I tell him to go. Like, no, I
Hey now,
tell my wife when she leaves, come hard, come home.
is that the title of your third book? Come hard and come home. I'd buy it.
I'll put you down for a pre-order.
Yeah, put me
All
down
right,
on the waiting list.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Barstool Theories. I like some of these. Okay, so the premise is, although I think on Amazon it says two stoners walk into a bar. So are they stoned and they're getting drunk? Is that why the conversations are extra deep? Okay,
Yeah.
so
They well, it's one stoner. They basically get crossfaded in a conversation.
oh, so you
Yeah.
really meant crossfaded in that case. I didn't know if it was that you were using the okay. So it's okay. You're using the
Nope.
actual definition of crossfading. So they get crossfaded, and then they talk about things like why do we have personalities and how are they formed? Do memories serve another function that we're not aware of? What is the most significant role of the human brain? Is there a driving force behind all human behavior? I assume these are questions that you kind of have answers to or have thought about.
Yes. All of these are in there are whether they're right or wrong. But I answer all of those questions in this book.
This is another thing that drives me crazy about humans, especially if you ever go on LinkedIn. Have you been on LinkedIn? The cesspool that is LinkedIn. Okay.
Yeah.
In the LinkedIn zeitgeist, everybody
I keep getting asked to do a master's program somewhere.
Of course you do. Let me tell you what they're going to tell you in the master's program. This is perfect. They're going to go, listen, you got to sleep for 4 hours a night. You got to wake up. You got to meditate. You got to journal. You got to take a cold shower, then a cold plunge. Then you got to hike. Then you got to journal about that fucking shit. Then you have to do 8 hours of deep work. Then you have to not drink. Never drink. Drinking is the fucking enemy. Anything that gives you pleasure is fucking wrong. And crossfading aside, getting high or drunk and talking about stupid stuff and feeling really convicted is one of the few absolute joys in life. And those who eschew this are such assholes, such boring assholes, pretentious. Like, yeah, I'm above that. You know what I like to do is burpees. What? You fucking useless. I mean, honestly, like who? Fuck. Where did we go as a society where they're like, you know what? A little bit of abstinence is great. Why don't we just abstain from anything that's joyous? Like, oh man, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
It takes all kinds though. Like those are that's the things we have to acknowledge that the world is full of different people who like really different things, and just we got to let them be, because they're like that's the issue is like we're not letting people be themselves anymore.
I'm not even sure that these people are themselves. You know why? Because what LinkedIn, this is in particular, they just wait for somebody to say something. Like nobody did cold plunges 10 years ago. Some shithead was like, you know, it's going to make you get fucking 6 figures, a cold plunge. I'm not sure. I think it's probably talent and hard work, and that sucks. So yeah, go take a cold pathy.
So there's like seriously, we're talking about like the fad kind of world of LinkedIn. Like, do you feel like people just jumping on the next business fad, like a TikTok challenges and shit? Like,
I don't think it. I know it. They all do the same shit. As soon as one person comes out and says, this is the thing you should be doing, everybody's like, oh my God, obviously. And I've been doing it for years. Like as soon as, the metaverse came out a few years ago, everybody was a metaverse expert automatically, like in the fucking metaverse. Now everyone's an AI expert. This shit's been out for like 2 years, but everybody's has a goddamn bachelor's in it from MIT in 1978. It's like Web3. Oh shit. Yeah. I'm a Web3 expert. I'm a crypto expert. It's just like, it is such a lemmings community. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. Society but that's our society creates that with like the whole have to have the new iPhone mentality. It's like whatever's the next thing, someone has to be there. Like,
yeah,
listen, I'm an early adapter. I
was there fandom has that. Yeah, LA's got to be like every chick now looks the same. That weird, thin nose, giant eyebrow, fucking weird. Like, it's just what the fuck are they doing? Oh, you live out there.
It's the collagen lips I can't get past. Like the big weird lips. That's where I'm like,
Yeah, like any guy at any point would be like, I would have banged her, but her lips were too small.
No. Yeah, have you ever kissed a set of collagen lips?
No. Good?
Weird.
As soon as listen, I'm going to send this episode to my wife, and as soon as she sees it and is convinced of polyamory, I'm going to go make out with some balloons welded to a chick's face.
Nice. She hot?
My wife?
Yeah.
I'll send you her portfolio.
Yay! Mine just went blonde for the first time. It's weird.
Listen, you're out there. Gentlemen prefer blondes.
Oh no, I prefer consent.
Stop. Nobody prefers. So, do memories serve another function that we're not aware of?
Yeah, I believe the entirety of our system is about feels. So memories are about they're connecting emotional moments to our bodies. Like we're actually using them as ways to remember the feeling, and not just the moment, but the feeling.
I think it's mostly the feeling, because from what I've heard, like every time you recall a memory, it's like a carbon copy of the memory, and this is where things get skewed and screwed up. Right. So ergo, we probably know that the feeling is more important than the actuality of the moment.
So the memory is not just about collecting the information; it's about having access to that feeling when you want it. So if you ever thought about a time that you've been on the beach or had a great time with your wife, and you think about that, you get a sense of like a small version of that feeling back. So that's what I feel memories are. It's our collection of ways to make ourselves feel the way we want to feel when we want to feel it.
I don't know if this has any. Yeah, this might have nothing to do with anything, but I floated in sensory deprivation tanks. Have you ever done this?
I have not. I want to.
All right, it's fucking
but
unbelievable.
I'm a little nervous about it because
everybody says, "Oh, I'm claustrophobic." Don't fucking worry about it. When you're in there, it's almost like forced ego death. You cease to exist as a physical being. So you're in a coffin. Who gives a shit? You're out in the ether, baby. But anyway, so I would often suggest this to people, and they'd go, well, how long does the feeling last? Because when you're out of there, you're in pure bliss. What it does is it puts you in a state of theta wave meditation, which isn't hot yoga meditation. It's monk shit on the top of fucking mountains. So theta wave meditation, it lasts like that feeling of it's almost like taking ecstasy. It's the closest feeling that I can. Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable.
Nice.
And people go, well, how long does it last? I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, but that's not the point. The point is, how good life can feel.
Yeah. How long does it last? How long does it last? It doesn't fucking matter. It feels great. Right.
Which is so weird. Like I get that question 100% of the time, but when I recommend bourbon they go, oh, how long does it's just fucking, I don't know.
How long does it last?
Just go do it.
Shut up.
Oh God. How long does it last?
Get in the fucking tank. How long does it last?
An asshole. But yes, everybody should go float. I think, yes, memories it's just these peak experiences that we can look back on, because most of life is horribly boring, monotonous, and oh my God, ended already. And we have to keep going back to these like, oh, wasn't it nice when?
Right. We by the end of our lives, we're going to be a collection of memories and feelings. That's all we are. And we are either going to look back on that fondly or we're not. Yeah. And the best way to do it is like try everything you can while you can. Anything that interests you, even if it's like it's a little scary, like do it. Try new things, because you will never know when suddenly you can't do it anymore.
I think this is part of the reason why I hate these boring assholes and these quiet introverts, is that they're not participating in my peak experiences. Yeah. And God damn it, I want more peak experiences. This is one more thing I want to say. Improv, because you're into improv. Hours almost up. I generally don't like improv. It's a few things. One is like, and I know this is a stupid analogy, but I would never go see a band just fucking jam around and hope for the best. And I would never go to a restaurant where they just threw some ingredients and say, fucking come up with something. I want something honed in. I want an end product. Now I know that you guys have techniques and training. So there's a little bit of this like magic thing where you know what you're doing, there's some hand elements to it. I'm aware of that, but it still bothers me.
Well, first off, darling,
yes,
what you've just described is this show.
I know that's the grand irony. I know.
I'm just a couple of people throwing it together. I'm expecting it to be entertaining, but it is.
I hate it. I hate it for it. I know. Like, well, part of it is I trust me. I don't trust the people on the stage.
There it is. There is a lot of bad improv. I will just say that right away. There is a lot of bad improv, but there is some amazing fucking improv.
I agree. Like when I would begrudgingly watch, I know this is probably a tropey thing in here, but like whose line is it anyway or something? Every time I'm like, oh fuck, it was good again. They did it again. So again, this is like the one everybody knows, but I totally agree. But what I do love about improv in this, to correct me if I'm wrong, this core tenet of yes and, instead of no, let's ruin all your fun, yes, and let's add to it. That's sort of, if you could just take yes and apply that to all of life, we'd all be way better off.
Yeah. It's because it's a positive outlook. It's starting from not just a positive, but starting from a place of building together, because that the and is actually the real fucking gift of it. Because you can just sit like, oh yeah, I agree. Right. And that's the issue you're having actually is with the introverts is they're yesing, but they're not anding.
Oh, it is. You know what? This is one of those moments in life. I call it revelatory ecstasy. When somebody gives me a truth and I'm like, oh, that feels good. That's what it is. I'm missing the and.
They're not ending.
Yes, because the introvert thing is okay when you are performative because they'll laugh. You're like, this is good. This is good. But I could never articulate why it's not as good as it should be. It's because they're not fucking ending.
Yep. They're not giving you anything back.
I'm point guarding, man. I'm fucking throwing the ball around. I'm trying to get other people to score. Yes. I mean, I want mine too, but I want you to play. I don't like doing monologues. I want to bounce it back a little bit. I mean, listen, I still want it to be like 80-20. Don't get me wrong. I love hearing myself talk. Right. I need you to do something. Not you, the royal you.
Oh, interesting. Baby, I'm sorry. My pupper wants to say hi.
Oh, look at that. Dogs. What's the dog's name?
Sammy.
Who?
His name is Sammy.
Sammy Hagar? I prefer Van Hagar over Van Halen. I know that's a controversial
thing.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I just watched a special about how Hagar and Eddie came apart. Oh, rough.
Eddie Van Halen, fucking fascinating. Everything about his Frankenfender and the way he taught himself how to play guitar is awesome. David Lee Roth, however, is the most annoying human on the planet, and I don't think that's hyperbole at all. I've tried to listen to interviews with him, and it's grating. Nails on a chalkboard, but while somebody hits you in the head with the fucking hammer. It is the worst. He's the worst. Anyway, was this a good musing session? What if this had been professional? Would you go, fuck, he's something?
No. We got to a point where you discovered a truth. That's a musing session right there.
Like, it is. I need more anding in my life. And then I'm going to tell people that. And then I get to go off on a little rant about the and, which I like.
Yeah. And that's the real secret.
I don't know what you charge, but it's worth it. Whatever it is, double it.
That's what I plan to once it all comes together. But it's about awareness and just making sure people know that there is more out there that they can do to make their life better.
As long as you participate and try.
Yes.
You work on it. You can't just sit around. It's just not going to come to you.
No, you got to end.
You got to end. This is the thing. So manifestation. Okay. I'm sure you guys, fucking Californians, you believe in this shit, but there's an objective truth to the idea that a ham sandwich doesn't get made by me unless I think about it first and then go, so I manifest it from a thought I had about, I want dead pig on some bread. Right. That's true of everything. So if the thing that I think people get confused about is they think manifesting is just wanting and hoping that it comes. No, man, you got to head in that fucking direction.
No, yeah. Manifesting is the start. It's like you manifest and then like my grandfather used to say, you plan your work and then you work your plan. So you manifest, that you plan your work. Then you got to work your plan. You got to.
I think they're forgetting the second half.
Yeah, they're not ending.
This episode is very judgmental by me, but that's the way I feel all the time. I'm just constantly judging everybody, not silently. Yeah. I think we all are. I just think I articulate it. and that's why people don't like me, which I understand.
Oh, you speak truth. Like you're a truth sticker, and that will always ruffle feathers.
Yeah, it's my own truth though, and it's been marinated in aerosol for 25 years, so you got to take that into consideration.
Yes, but the two things that ruffle feathers are truth and flying.
And oh boy. Yeah. Oh, that was very dad. Do you have kids? That was very dad jokey.
No, I'm an improviser. I do family shows. You always have to have that one in the tank that you can just say at the family functions.
I didn't see it coming either. That's a good curveball at the end. All right, listen. What I want to do, we got to log off because it's over the hour. I want you to stay in the green room for a second so we can debrief. But you want to
Absolutely.
tell people where they can hire you if they want to be mused or mentally cartographed or buy your
Sure.
books?
You can check the barstooltheories.com is their website. I actually will be in the next few months launching a phone app called the Muse Desk, which is where I have a training program for other muses. So you can go through a 6-week program to learn all of the things that I do professionally. And then that's going to be going on later this year. And these are musing, mental cartography, anything you need to do to work through, or any creative programs, we are happy to help.
Beautiful. Listen, I highly recommend it. I just came up with ending, which is a thing I'm going to talk about until I die, which could be soon. But if it's not, it's going to be for a while. So thank you.
Of course.
It allows me to judge people in it. You know what I mean? It's very on brand. this revelatory ecstasy at that moment. So thank you.
Happy to give you the ability to put people in their place.
I'm happy to have it. All right, man. Stick around. We'll be back tomorrow, America. Goodbye.